Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking a closer look at something almost all of us carry around in our pockets every single day. Look, most people just think of credit cards as a basic payment method, right? It's a convenient, everyday tool. You swipe now, you pay later. Sounds super simple. But what if I told you that credit cards are not actually designed just for your convenience? They're literally designed to fundamentally change your behavior. And here is the really scary part. Once your behavior changes, your spending changes. And once your spending changes, well, your entire financial life changes. The trickiest part is that you don't even feel it happening because it doesn't happen all at once. It happens slowly, silently, and entirely in your head. So today, we are going to pull back the curtain and reveal the invisible psychology behind our everyday plastic. Okay, let's dive into this with a quick scenario. I want you to imagine I'm giving you two options right now. Option 1, you have to pay 5,000 rupees in physical cash. Option 2, you swipe your credit card for that exact same 5,000 rupees. It is the exact same amount of money for the exact same purchase. But I want you to think honestly for a second here. Which one of those actions actually feels more painful to you? If you're like pretty much everyone else on the planet, you instantly chose cash. But why is that? I mean, it's not because paying in cash is mathematically more expensive. It's because handing over physical cash just feels more real. And that tiny, super subtle difference, that is exactly how credit cards quietly take the steering wheel of your spending habits without you ever even noticing. Let's really break down why this happens. When you pay with physical cash, something deeply psychological goes on. You physically see the money leaving your hand. You feel the physical loss of it instantly. And your brain actually registers that physical loss as, well, pain. But now compare that heavy physical resistance to swiping or tapping a shiny credit card. You swipe, it beeps, the card goes right back into your wallet, and that's it. There's no physical loss. There's literally no immediate consequence. Because of that incredibly frictionless swipe, you experience zero resistance. In that exact moment, your brain essentially treats the purchase as if it were almost free.
Behavioral economists actually have a term for this. They call it the pain of paying, which is that psychological resistance and immediate negative emotion you experience when physically handing over your hard-earned money. Now, nobody likes pain, obviously, but this pain is actually incredibly important for us. It's a protective mechanism. It's basically your brain's internal alarm system that makes you stop and think twice. It forces you to ask, wait a minute, do I really need this? Credit cards, though, are masterfully designed to bypass this protective mechanism entirely. They just completely turn the alarm off.
So let's move on to section 1, the 4 psychological traps.
Because our internal alarm system has been turned off, we essentially walk totally blind into a series of silent psychological traps. Tell me if this sounds familiar. Have you ever opened your credit card statement at the end of the month, stared at that final number at the bottom and thought, wait, how on earth did I spend this much? It's a completely universal feeling. It's the shock of accumulated small purchases. And it's the direct result of our very first trap.
Trap number 1 is delayed pain. With a credit card, you simply do not feel the cost immediately. The emotional consequence of buying something is totally pushed off into the future. You only feel the pain weeks later when that bill finally shows up. But here's the catch. By the time you're looking at that statement, the emotional connection to the actual spending is completely gone. You don't vividly remember every single tiny swipe. A 200 rupee coffee here, right? A 500 rupee subscription there, a $1,000 dinner somewhere else. Individually, right there in the moment, they felt completely harmless, but grouped together and delayed until the end of the month, they become a massive shock to the system. You just didn't feel it while you were doing it.
And you know, this delayed pain leads directly into our next trap because it completely alters the internal conversation you're having with yourself when you're about to buy something. Look at this massive shift in mindset. A cash mindset asks a very grounded, logical question. Can I afford this? Meaning, do I actually have the money in my bank account right now to buy this thing? But the credit card quietly changes that powerful question. Suddenly, you're asking yourself, well, can I pay the minimum this month? Guys, this is an incredibly dangerous internal shift.
And this brilliantly illustrates trap number 2, the illusion of affordability. Because of that shift in how you question your purchases, you're no longer making decisions based on what you actually have. You're making decisions based on what you can delay. This illusion is exactly how people start living one step ahead of their actual income. They aren't actually rich. They're just advanced in their spending.
Let's look at how this illusion actually plays out in the real world. Imagine you want to buy something pretty expensive, maybe a massive new television or the latest high-end phone. You look at the price tag and bam, it says 50,000 rupees. That is a large, intimidating number. If you had to pull 50,000 rupees out of your wallet in physical cash, you would absolutely hesitate. you'd feel that pain of paying we just talked about, big time.
But here's how the trick works. When you're using a credit card, the retailer doesn't actually want you to look at that scary 50,000 rupees. Instead, they present you with a completely different number. Hey, it's only 2,000 rupees per month. Suddenly, poof, the hesitation just vanishes. Suddenly, it feels totally affordable. I mean, you can easily manage 2,000 rupees a month, right?
Which brings us to trap 3, small payments, big decisions. Think about what literally just happened in your brain there. The actual price of the item didn't change at all. It is still a $50,000 phone. The only thing that changed was your perception of the price. This is exactly how credit cards shrink massive financial decisions into small, easily approved emotional decisions. And once the decision feels small, your brain just powers down. You stop thinking deeply about the long-term financial commitment you actually just signed up for.
But wait, it gets crazier. Credit card companies don't just rely on making spending painless. They have an even smarter trick up their sleeves. They actually make you feel like, hey, I'm gaining something here. Instead of that traditional, painful feeling of losing money when you buy something, they literally trick your brain into associating spending with receiving a reward. And that is trap 4, reward psychology. This completely short-circuits our logic. Credit cards actively reward you for spending your money through cashback, loyalty points, exclusive offers, flight discounts, you name it. Even if the reward is mathematically tiny, like say getting just 1% back, it completely flips your behavioral psychology upside down. Spending money no longer feels like a cost, it feels like an opportunity. You start thinking, man, if I don't use my card for this, I'm actually missing out on points. And that right there is exactly what keeps you swiping and ultimately spending way more than you originally planned.
Moving on to section 2, perception versus reality.
So, the crucial point we've uncovered so far reveals a much deeper truth about personal finance. It turns out, credit cards don't actually control your money, they control your perception of it. And as we're seeing, you don't act based on financial reality, you act based on how things feel. Look at how these shifted perceptions dictate your real-world actions. If spending feels painless, well, you simply spend more. If a payment feels small because it's sliced up into installments, you end up buying much bigger, more expensive things. And if the rewards feel exciting, you'll so easily justify buying totally unnecessary things just to rack up those points. This psychology is the exact reason why two people who earn the exact same income can live completely different financial lives. One person is using credit consciously with full awareness. The other person is being steered by the perception the card creates. It's the exact same piece of plastic, but a completely different level of awareness.
Finally, section 3, taking back control. Let's talk about what we can do about this. So, do you need to go grab a pair of scissors right now and cut up all your cards? No, absolutely not. You just need to bring reality back into the transaction. Here are 4 concrete, super actionable steps to instantly change your awareness and protect your money. First up, the 3-second pause, or what we like to call the cash test. Every single time you're about to swipe, just pause for 3 seconds and ask yourself, would I still buy this if I had to hand over physical cash right now? If your answer is no, that is your protective alarm ringing. Listen to it. Second, start tracking your spending weekly, not monthly. Waiting for that monthly statement is just too late. The damage is already done. Checking it every week keeps your brain actively anchored to reality. Third, always think in full amounts. You've got to avoid that minimum payment and EMI mindset. Look at the full total cost, because at the end of the day, that is the actual price you are paying. And fourth, separate the rewards from the decisions. Never buy something just to get the cash back. Buy it only if you actually need it. The points, those are just a bonus, not the goal. So, the next time you pull that credit card out of your wallet, I want you to remember what we've covered in this explainer today. It is a highly engineered psychological tool. The biggest financial mistakes in life don't usually come from one massive, disastrous decision. They come from small, easy, painless decisions, repeated again and again and again. Mastering your psychology is literally the only way to master your money. So the next time you go to swipe, ask yourself, are you the one using the card, or is the card using you? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, everyone. See you next time.